Hello everybody, this is John with Alarm Lock Technical Support, and thank you for joining us for the Air Access Quick Start Setup Guide. So if we click here, this will take us to the personnel screen, and we're going to click Add to enroll a new person badge. Note, by default, new badges will have access to all doors 24/7. To customize access levels, please refer to the time schedules, access groups, and personnel configuration. So if we click option step 4, this takes us into the personnel screen where we can add a personnel user to the system. And as noted, again, all locks added into the system are placed in all door access. So if you need to add another access group, that can be done. So in this case, we're going to just put in a new badge. And you're going to want to type in the proximity card badge number that's written on your prox card. So this one's okay, and right below it you have the facility number. I'm going to briefly go over this in this video. So right now I'm going to leave it as not used, but you can enable up to 10 facility numbers to be used in the system, and this numerical will go all the way up to 10. So in this case, I'm going to leave it at 0, but I'm going to go over that. If you're going to want to enable two-factor PIN, that would mean that you would have to present the prox card and also a numerical PIN. You can enter a number here if needed. So we're going to save this badge. Okay, and I'm also going to show you how to add a PIN-only badge. So I'm going to hit add another personnel. I'm going to put PIN-only. So this is going to be for if you have a PDL lock that has a keypad and a prox reader on it. So this will allow users to have both a personnel proximity badge or a numerical PIN number only to get into the system. So here we're just going to put a numerical PIN. Okay, and we're not going to set a facility code at this time. And then we can press save. Okay, so when you're using a PIN-only code, I want to show you the configuration that has to be done on any PDL lock. So if we click on readers, as you see here, this is our primary reader. Another important thing I want to mention here is that this is actually the name that you will see when the customer logs into the app on the phone. So I would also advise to change this name here at this point of programming. So call this the front entrance. Okay, and we're going to click on door control, and this is the option we want to add for PIN only mode to be enabled. So we're going to hit keypad enabled. By default, the PDL locks do not have the keypad enabled, so we're enabling it here. Okay, and we can press save, and that will save that information. And also, I'll just quickly note here, if you go into your door control, this is where you can set a free access time schedule. You can change it, different schedules that you create in the system. That's where that's done there. So let's go back at the personnel screen. And as you see here, so we have our 2 badges added into the system. Badge number here, which is on my proximity card, and the PIN number here. So the next step we want to check out is to go into our badge formats. This is very important. So by default, the Air Access system has a Continental 36-bit format installed by default. This was actually already changed. So make sure that you change this to the NAPCO 36-bit, and the way that you would do that is if you just delete this record. And just to notate too, any type of change that is done in the system is actually downloaded live to the lock. So any changes, it's not necessary for you to do a full download every single time you make a change. The system will automatically send the data. So we'll just press add. So this in here we have a couple of predefined formats. So again, as I mentioned, the Continental one is the one that is pre-installed. So if you're using our alarm lock cards, that the AL1386, proximity cards, you would have to select this predefined format. So you'd select NAPCO alarm lock 36-bit and press save. And these you can all leave here. Okay, and we're going to go into facility codes. So as you see here, there's no record found. I'm not using a facility code in this demonstration here. But if you were, you can just press the add and you can select the lock that you're going to be applying it to. And as you see here, we have the option to add up to 10 different types of facility code. So the default for alarm lock is 19. So I would be putting in 19 if I were using the facility code, and then I would save this entry. And you would need to save the entry for every single lock that is in the system that is using a facility code. So now we put 19 as facility 1. So if I wanted to choose to add the facility code, I can go back to my badge user, and then I would create here to put a 1 next to facility number for this badge user. So now this badge we are utilizing a facility code, and it is going to my facility number 1, which is 19. And like I said, you have to add the facility code for each lock that is in the system. Another thing I also want to quickly go over is the schedule. So by default, although the locks are set to 24/7, if you needed to add a new free access schedule, I will go through this real quick, but we can set one up here. Friday, say 9 to 5. We can add the block, and we can set it to Monday to Friday. A.M. 5 p.m. Okay, then we can press save on this schedule. So this schedule will be saved to our system. As I showed you before, if we go underneath configuration and readers, go to our reader. And underneath door control, we can select now this schedule to be used as a free access. Press back. We go into here, and we'll also go over the access groups. So right now, as I mentioned, the all door access is assigned to every single lock that is added to the system. So if you needed to have a group of locks or doors that are going to be associated to certain users, this is where we can, add them into the system. So here I'm going to add, say, rear doors. And what you have the option to do here is actually to select the lock. If you have more than one lock here, you can select each lock and then also assign a schedule to that lock. So if it's going to be 24/7, certain users are only going to have access to these locks 24/7. That's fine. You can just select 24/7, or you can actually specify if a user is going to have access to the lock only during normal business hours, say 9 to 5. We can also set that to the lock if we needed to for a access time schedule for directly to the lock. So here we just press save. So now we have 2 access group. This one here, I just set the door to only have access from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So what we also need to do is if we go into personnel and save the PIN code, we wanted to change this, we can just simply select here for access group, rear door, and now this user will only have access to the lock during Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. All right, so that's our personnel screen. There are a lot more options. We'll have more videos coming up with that. So let's go ahead and proceed to step 5. Again, this is John with Alarm Lock. I hope you enjoyed this video on setting up your air access system. Have a great day.